Hi there. I'd like to talk to you about Michael Jackson. Obviously, I've chosen the book Moonwalk here for you to look at. Um, First of all, I do want to say that I've come across a few people um, since Michael Jackson's death who have really been very angry about all of the fuss over Michael Jackson's death, and they're very resentful of all the attention that's been given to Michael Jackson. And I just think that rather than um, arguing with people who are resentful, I think we ought to be reaching out to them as Michael Jackson fans and letting these people know that we have room in our hearts for more than just Michael Jackson, and that all the people who are mourning his death, even to this day, month of November, and his death was 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago. We are compassionate to the suffering in the world. We have that capacity to be mourning the death of someone like Michael Jackson and still caring about things that are going on in the world. So the fuss and the uproar that is perceived to be naive or too simplistic or whatever, I think that's a limited view. And for those of you who don't like Michael Jackson and don't think he was very talented or whatever, that is your opinion, and in my view, you're entitled to that opinion. And if you hate him or if you think he's a pedophile, you are entitled to your opinion. I am not interested in fighting with you. I would rather take a step back and just refrain from arguing with you, because I'd rather use my energy to nurture and heal the world, as Michael Jackson always said. And so I don't think you can compare the uproar and fuss, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think you can compare that to other things that are going on that are obviously very important. We who mourn the death of Michael Jackson are unified. There's something bringing us together, and this is a very powerful thing. Michael Jackson held the key to something very, very important. He crossed all barriers, and there is this potential to unify people all over the world, and we can't forget it. We mustn't forget it. And I think we need to continue to find ways to unify and cross these barriers and reach out to the haters, the people who don't understand and haven't yet understood that the media is corrupt. Let's face it. I'm going to talk to you about Moonwalk, the book. In Michael Jackson's autobiography, Moonwalk, he speaks about the period when he was making films. Sorry, he was interested in getting into making films. He'd already made the music, short films, and had wonderful success with that. But he was interested then in ideas about films and movies, and he wanted to work on that. But the Pepsi commercial sidetracked him. And I found that interesting to know that he was prevented, in a sense, from entering into the movie industry because of an accident. And as towards the end of his life, after all the allegations and the court case and all that was finished with, and he was through with it all, and he'd come back and he was ready, he was starting to once again launch some ideas for movie making. They Caged Them at Night was a film project I heard was planned with Matt Damon and his company. So he had projects going on. He was really heading into the movie industry. And what happened? He died. So I just think that it's very coincidental, perhaps. Maybe there's a link. There's a reason for it. If anyone is familiar with the Geordie Chandler case, the first accuser, father Evan Chandler, was connected in the movie show business circle. And he's been recorded on tape saying that he had people in powerful places who were ready to help him mount this conspiracy against Michael Jackson and accuse him of molesting Geordie Chandler, his son. So the Hollywood connection here, the movie industry connection, seems to be a very important one to me. So I just wanted to share that. I did want to mention about the film, Pepsi film, and the shooting that day when his hair caught fire, because it's, allegedly an accident, but you have to wonder, seeing now in hindsight. He says in his book that the reason the accident happened was because of stupidity, and the safety regulations were not respected. He was told to stand after shooting a number of scenes. They had done it and it had all worked well, apparently, and then they said, the director Bob Giraldi, he says, okay, stay on the platform longer, wait till the lights come on, and then come down the stairs after that. So he waited till the lights come on, the explosions went off, 2 feet away from his head, these sparks are coming down on his head, his hair catches fire, he suffers 3rd-degree burns, the burn almost penetrates his scalp. A fireman tells him later that he could have died. The flames, often in this case, what happens is the flames catch onto the clothing, the face gets burnt, and it's a very serious, obviously very serious accident. He escaped death, and obviously it was not his time, and many of us, I think, are grateful, because obviously Michael Jackson had so much more to give to the world, both in his art and in humanitarian efforts. And there's just so much that I wish to say, and there are many, many people out there who knew him and have said things in different videos, and I think of Ted Riley, and I think of one interview, the Sony Epic former executives in YouTube video, which really reveals so much about him and his work. And I just think that it's such a shame that the media has, been able to exercise such control in smearing this man, Michael Jackson. And if I can just finish off here, I wish for those of you who are interested in opening your minds, turn off your TVs and don't believe what you hear on the mainstream media.